Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Prey, Blind. I'm still here in Psychotronics Labs, and I still have quite a lot to explore, so let's go through Labs B. There's a lot of objects here. And behavioral biometrics. Okay, this has to be a mimic, right? Yeah. I figured as much. But I think there was a second one? TBA. Okay, but what's that? Like, what is it used for? Is it some kind of an... Frick. Probably shouldn't have destroyed that. Typhon mimesis testing. Ah, okay. So I guess they were studying mimics and how they mimic into the various objects. Note. But what does it? What does it say? Okay, I'm actually dead already, which is a not particularly impressive start to this whole episode, but oh well. I guess I should consume at least one medkit. Wait, did I save after killing the first mimic? Okay, I picked up a note, but I don't know. Okay. And do I have any food? Cakes, okay. Restores 1 health. It's not necessarily that helpful. Okay, let's just stay with this for a moment, because I think there's a medical operator nearby, if I remember correctly, but also I'm pretty sure... Yeah, right. That's what I thought.
Maybe I can help you.
I actually think I hear yet another one. What do the notes say? Ah, not a mimic. Well, to be honest, I don't really trust it. I think I'm going to whack everything, just to be sure. Yeah, it's a whole lot of notes saying it's not a mimic, because presumably the people who were still here at some point, they got so paranoid about everything possibly being a mimic that they had to label every last thing in the lab. That's kind of hilarious, actually. Although I guess it's only hilarious for me as a player, because in universe it's actually kind of terrifying. Like, the whole concept of mimics is pretty terrifying as it is, because, you know, pretty much every regular object can be a deadly alien creature, so that's kind of hardcore, really. That's not a mimic. Not a mimic. Yeah, as I said, I don't really trust it, especially seeing how I'm pretty sure a mimic could mimic into a sticky note that would say it's not a mimic, which would be hilarious. What kind of... Oh, it's a medical operator, so that's great. Let me just continue whacking everything, just to be sure. But I am going to try and pay it a visit. I still hear those sounds that sound vaguely typhoon-like. You know, the chittering and all that.
Hello, are you here for an appointment?
Yes. Yes, I am here for an appointment, and I will be with you shortly. Okay, that's quite fun with the not a mimic notes. But let's actually try catching the operator. Okay, I was here because this is the airlock, and this leads to Labs A, which I have already explored. Mitsuko Tokaji, Cognitive Sciences. Okay. Okay, this is a mimic, right? Yeah, I saw it shift.
Diagnosing bruising, abrasions, fatigue. Nothing life-threatening. Try to relax. All done. Please fill out a patient experience questionnaire so I can serve you better next time.
Well, you actually did nothing.
Superficial injuries. Nothing a portable medical kit can handle.
But that might be because I moved.
This will only take a moment. There. All better. You can fill out a service questionnaire at the front desk.
Okay, there's a phantom inside here, right? I could have sworn there was one. Oh, I guess I killed it. Somehow. Okay, let's just whack a bunch of crates to be sure. Typhon Mimesis Part 3. Except from a lab note maintained by Rory Mignon and Christine Lloyd, which may explain how mimics arrived here and how at least one survived in the vacuum inside the Kletka for so long. They can move to an adjacent dimensional bubble where time passes much more slowly, shifting back with the appropriate stimulus, for example, prey. From the mimic's perspective, a 6 million year journey to our solar system in the form of an iron meteor might only take a few seconds. These things are the ultimate trapdoor spiders. Okay, so that's kind of interesting how they are hypothesizing that the mimics can jump into a different reality, pretty much, where time passes slower, so that they can almost, from our perspective, it's almost like they hibernate, but from their perspective, it's just their perception of time is different, so they can hike a ride on like an asteroid or something and go through space very, very slowly for millions of years, and then just activate whenever they spot prey. Okay, anything else here? Doesn't look like it. There's a bunch of emails on here. Helen Barker Combs. I think I killed her because I think she turned into a phantom. Helen. This one, a bunch of numbers, has shown signals of further instability in the last 24 hours. Subject demonstrated morbid curiosity in small objects around him, attempting to place them in his mouth and consume them, nutritive and non-nutritive. Initial diagnosis would seem to be rapid onset pica? I don't know what that is, but there was no evidence of this prior to his exposure to the telepath. We're not ruling out suicide attempts, although the subject isn't making an effort to hide it. I'll be performing an endoscopic exam next shift to make sure nothing is lodged in the esophagus or intestines. Mitsuko. Suicide Watch update. Regarding 37 Suicide Watch update. 37 is still under Suicide Watch. As requested, The prisoner has not been given any sedatives to keep his system clean for upcoming surgery. No food either, only water. He doesn't do much except rock back and forth, staring at some point on the wall and mumbling to himself in Russian. Can't make out what he's saying. He's made no attempt to hurt himself that we have seen. This volunteer does not seem to be suicidal. He seems disoriented, like he's sleep drunk. Security Officer Smith, encephalectomy. Helen, I think we've gotten just about all that we're going to get out of 37 by talking. I wanted to schedule a surgery within the next few days. Let's get it out and into analysis as soon as possible. Hans. Okay. I read that. Okay, there's a corpse here. Take ammo from this. What does the note said? Not a mimic? Okay. Is it about the transcribe or about the corpse? Like, can they shift into corpses? I don't think so. I don't think I ever saw that.
You sure about this? Not too late to flush it all out in airlock, you know.
I'm sure. Are you having second thoughts?
No way. I'm in. It's just... I'm not the one incriminating myself.
There's no happy ending for me either way. I'm trying not to think about it.
Sorry.
Did you make arrangements?
Mitchell's on board. He's gonna bring me food.
I don't need to know the details. Better that way. It has to happen on your next rotation. I put everything in a package labeled mementos. The package is in my cabin. It's got to go to every media outlet imaginable.
Got it.
And Quentin, be careful. Security is already scrutinizing me more than usual.
So I guess they were planning to get out the information about what happened here. There is no key card on this or anything, which is interesting.
I didn't see you there.
But I can grab the transcribe through the window.
In light of what we now know the Typhon are capable of, and not capable of, it seems prudent to revisit the Project Cobalt material.
Igor? Neuromods can already adapt Typhon material to the human mind. There's no reason in principle the reverse wouldn't work.
Say you managed to insert human neurons into a Typhon. How will you know it was successful?
The new neural structures would need to mature over a series of actual experiences.
Or simulated ones.
What?
Simulate the experiences. Calvino. He has...
Hello.
Right,
Are you
okay,
here for
look,
an appointment?
it's fascinating, but let's focus on what we know is working. I don't want anyone devoting resources to this.
Wait. They were talking about how it's theoretically possible to sort of by reversing the procedure of implanting Typhon neuromods into humans, you could possibly input human, neural patterns into a Typhon. So, like, right now, I'm thinking, because Morgan was also involved, Morgan, which is supposedly me, but right now I am thinking, because obviously the law of conservation of detail dictates that everything that the game tells you, everything that it shows you, everything that they recorded as a as an audio log or something, it has to have narrative meaning. So right now I'm thinking, how plausible would it be if it turned out at the end of the game that I am actually not a human? Like, because they said that if you implanted human, neural structures into a Typhon creature, it would have to grow into acting human-like by a series of real-life experiences, but then Morgan cut in with or simulated experiences. So right now I'm thinking, how plausible it is to assume that I am actually not Morgan at all. I am a Typhon alien who has been taught to think that I am a human via the constant repetition of the via the constant repetition of the of the simulation, and then you could look at the whole testing in a different way, because instead of trying to because at first I thought they were trying to test whether Morgan the human is possessing Typhon-like abilities via injecting him with a neuromod, but now I think it might be possible that it's the other way around, that they were actually testing whether Typhon the alien has become sufficiently human-like, because obviously they might want to do it as a sort of a stepping stone to actually maintaining some kind of a communication with the aliens, or maybe engineer even a truce or something, actually cooperate with them. Because if they would be able to create a half Typhon, half human hybrid, then of course it could be possibly used to engineer some kind of an understanding between the human species and the alien species. So that's pretty fascinating, actually, and I will have to be on watch for more... well, damn it, I didn't really want to go here yet. I will need to be on watch for more evidence regarding this theory either way. Wait, I could have sworn I destroyed that. But it's pretty interesting, and I should probably think about it a little bit longer in the future. Let's scan this. Greater mimic. Interesting. Press J to view research on the entity you scanned. Oh, there's a whole tab of research data. So, greater mimic. Excerpts from Project Axiom Archive. Preliminary observation reveals that specimen 14 is moderately longer than any other mimic specimens collected from Kletka incident, but a far more fascinating aspect is what appears to be its advanced mimicry ability. Specimen 14 has on numerous occasions demonstrated the capability of reproducing objects whose size and complexity far outstrip the abilities of any other specimens. What's more, many of those reproductions appear to be fully functioning. Oh, so maybe it can shift, because the skills here in Neuromods, they mentioned that if I get enough into Morph, I can turn into turrets. So maybe the greater mimics can actually do that, and the turrets would be, actually functioning. Where is it? Weaver. Excerpt from Psychotronics database. Along with mimics, weavers were some of the first Typhoon encountered near the Vorona 1. As observed in the log, in larger mimic populations, one mimic will be chosen via a yet unknown mechanism to undergo a specialized metamorphosis. The chosen mimic is stung repeatedly by others, triggering a rapid change, resulting in a new Typhoon Geniocrates or Weaver. Weavers appear to be central to the Typhoon ecology, largely as vector for production for some of the other species, as well as a substance known as Koro. Okay, Phantom. Phantoms are not wholly alien. Created by weavers using human remains, phantoms have been known to exhibit human-like neural patterns at times, but as noted in the observation log, while phantoms may attempt to reproduce human phrases, they do not appear to retain any form of actual human speech or human comprehension. Due to the specimen's explosive speed, phantoms must be subdued or enclosures purged before attempting to enter. Morgan's note: use glue to slow them down. Telekinetic projectiles pack a big as punch, but can be dodged. Better to get in close and personal. Tracking bracelet on them are still active. Okay, and the mimic. One of the first Typhoon discovered during the Vorona 1 incident in 1960, mimics are capable of imitating nearby objects. During the incident case, it was observed that mimics use other living organisms as a reproduction medium, killing their prey in the process. In accordance with the Powek protocol, Mimic specimens are not to be released in environments with a containment rating less than S4. Okay, kind of interesting, I guess. Null wave transmitter. Typhon Mimesis Part 1. Using Mossbauer spectroscopy, we track hyperfine splitting of an isotope embedded in the target object, in this case a standard TranStar coffee mug. The creatures seem to have a weird affinity for them. If the mimic actually altered its atomic structures to duplicate the target object, we would expect the reading to be consistent in the duplicated object. When the alternation occurred, the reading was present, but the frequency has changed. The new object was on a different time scale than the original. What? What does it even mean? How is time relevant to this? Like, are they changing to a version of that object from like a different universe or something? Is it something like the strings theory? Like, there is an infinite amount of universes with minute changes and they are from a different one? They are not really copying the object, they are just transporting it from a different alternate reality or something? I don't quite understand, but I guess it's presumably going to be explained a little bit more eventually. And discredited debated hypothesis. Allisonogenic Field. The mimics project a field that causes observers to think that they see the object. Transmutation. Mimic literally reconfigures its atoms and molecules while somehow maintaining its own subjective consciousness. A pocket dimension. The mimic swaps places with the object in a parallel dimension, but stays connected via a wormhole. Yeah, I think that's what the paper was suggesting. Okay, centrifuges, blood. More photos of the containment chamber. Oh, there are more of them here. Typhoon nightlight testing. Roy, I've loaded another nightlight as requested. Up to the psycholuminescence. This time the Typhoon ought to follow the lure like an imprinted duckling. Ah, so they were testing the Typhoon lure, I guess. Let's get in here. Okay, is it safe?
Isn't it fascinating? There's something almost angelic about those golden filaments, like frozen light. The Typhoon weave it out of thin air. The question is why? We have a lot of theories, but no solid answers. Not yet. I wish you were with me, Morgan. Not the way you are now. The way you used to be. I know we could tackle this together. Like old times.
Okay, again, this might be more fuel to the theory that I'm not actually Morgan. You know? Maybe the original Morgan is even already dead or something. I don't have conclusive proof on that, so I'm not going, I haven't decided yet whether I'm fully convinced, but I'm just saying, from the way the game has been feeding me information, it seems at least theoretically possible that I am not actually Morgan at all, and I am not even human, because the game has distinctly suggested that they've been thinking about implanting human-like, neural patterns into the Typhon creatures, the aliens. And then Morgan himself suggested that it might be enhanced by, the alien might grow into being human-like, as it were, by repeated human-like experiences. So that would be in line with the intro testing. So that's definitely kind of fascinating. Now, I'm not sure if this is safe, but Okay, so I cannot scan any of those. Interesting. Gauge Lagrangian. Don't forget the Higgs, where something and something options. A bunch of mathematical formulas, which I'm not even going to spend time to trying to understand. Okay, what can I do with this? Does it kill it? Like, I would probably kill it at the end anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, or does it present it with objects to shift into? Ah, yes, okay, that's cool. That's cool. And I presumably this releases the lure. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of cool as well. Let's check this computer over here. There's 3 emails. Mimic theory. Time to place our bets on how this actually works. My money is on 2, obviously. Allisonogenic Field, pocket dimensions, or transmutation. So this is basically what's written down here. My money is on 2. So they seem to be set on the pocket dimension theory. And after the last 6 months here, I'm going with 4, magic. Okay. Dome Taker. Dome Taker 3, pilgrimage to the outer key of the domed, arrived with my last drop. Let me know if you like a download. The caves are all handcrafted. Ah, so is it about the RPG? Is it like a maze miniature, you know, for the for planning out combat or stuff? Because it says the caves are all handcrafted, so I assume that would be about it. Mystery Man. Does Lancetta ring any bells? Dr. Gus Lancetta? What if I told you that he worked with us for a week? 1 week. The week before the entire science staff has lost quarters. No, the week before the entire staff had last quarter's neuromods removed, he left his badge in a locker. I had IT look up his account, and it has all been deleted, all but his credentials. Who the hell was he? Okay, this actually seems insane, because it seems this email is implying that they removed the entire knowledge of everyone ever knowing this man, which seems mildly suspicious. Like, they presumably specifically removed the neuromods in such a time frame to remove the existence of this person from the minds of the entire crew, and it seems that only by an accident, I assume, he left his badge in a locker. So that's definitely kind of suspicious. Okay, there is also a utility which presumably null wave control. Introduce null wave transmitter to the test chamber to suppress the mimic's abilities. Warning. Null wave transmitter void test results. Okay. Ah, and right now if I open it, it's not going to do anything because it can't. Because its abilities are currently, are currently suppressed. I guess it's cool how the game sort of teaches you things both about the lore, not a mimic, both about the lore but also about the gameplay, because it shows me outright that if I used the the null wave transmitter, it would stop them from using their powers. And for example here, it shows me how the lure works. That's cool, and I kind of enjoy that, actually. I kind of enjoy that. And Typhon Lure. This goes to the other side here. I was already here. Some photos of phantoms, I imagine. Okay. I don't think I can actually get in the labs to kill the specimens, so I'm just going to leave them be. However, there were mentions of a morgue on this level, and I still haven't found it because notice no food or drink in this area, because I also have a side quest to find Dr. Bellamy's corpse, and I would imagine it would be in the morgue, right? That's where you usually keep corpses. So not a mimic. I would like to look for it, but I'm kind of out of ideas where it would be.
Hello, good to see you again, Dr. Yu.
Tokaji. Helen Barker Combs. Behavioral biometrics. Okay, so this is the whole lab with the mimics. But I was here already. Let me take a look at the map. It seems I was everywhere here. Well, presumably it's somewhere else entirely.
Hello, are you here for an appointment?
Because I explored everything on this side. Or did I? Uh, 1963. This is about the old Russian launch, I guess. Yeah, approval. Where is Morgan? Missing. I was here, and I explored everything out here. I think. Labs A. Warning, I've sealed several mimics inside. 2 casualties. So maybe as many as 8 mimics. Okay, I think I already fought them. Yeah, right. Okay. But that still doesn't tell me... I was here. I explored all of this. But that still doesn't tell me where the morgue is. I guess it might be further down here, because I was in Labs B and Labs A at this point, so this leaves me with live exam. Oh, morgue. Well, talk about the devil. Okay. Live examine morgue.
I was afraid of this. The scientists here were in the middle of something when they died. Access to the gut is closed off during experiments. Security protocol. You'll have to finish what they started. Back in the 60s and 70s, the first research teams tried to communicate with the Typhon, but this proved impossible. Their cerebral structures are highly developed and intentional, but somehow unapproachable. They have no speech of their own, no language. They don't seem to even see us. Not like we see ourselves, I mean. I'm generalizing when I say us. Of course, I'm not a person. Not like you.
Live exam procedure in progress. Local lockdown in effect until procedure terminates.
I can hear the Weaver through the walls. Son of a bitch is gloating, I know it. How are you holding up?
I dropped a couple of nightlights to lure the phantoms away. Put sticky notes on every goddamn thing I'm sure isn't a mimic. You?
Good. Safe inside the armory. Squashed a mimic that slipped in, but that's it. I got everything sealed tight.
What's our plan?
Wait for rescue?
You know, if we make it, Alex is just going to pull our mods.
You want to remember this shit?
I think we could get out through the guts. Work our way up to the Arboretum.
Okay. Say the word.
Okay, so what January was talking about is again a point in the direction of a theory how maybe I'm not a human at all. I'm just a Typhon that they've been trying to engineer to be human-like, to have a line of communication with the rest of them. Because he mentioned, January mentioned how the Typhon are utterly alien to a point where ordinarily it's impossible to communicate with them because they don't even have a language. Local lockdown in effect. Containment access, material extraction, gravity utility tunnel. So gravity utility tunnel is the gut, right? Information. Local procedure, phantom genesis. Please ensure the cadaver is in the enclosure and activate psychoscopes prior to opening the containment cylinder. Okay. Live exam controls. Activate psychoscopes. Well, I guess I have to finish this test if I want to get through, but I guess first I'm going to explore everything else. Okay, that's the turret.
Research complete.
It's not exactly that useful, but okay. I have fully researched mimics.
New psionic aptitude available.
Okay, old Russian equipment. Specimen contained within. Typhon Anthropophantasmus. Okay. Seems to be no longer contained within, to be honest. Mitsuko Tokaji. Okay, let's take everything off her.
Coming through.
I can't really read anything out of this. Oh, what has just happened? It has almost like disappeared? Well, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to happen, but I'm still not sure what exactly it was. I can't read anything in here. Okay, there's an engineering operator, which I could use to repair my suit, I guess.
Inspecting. Your suit's leaking. I'll patch that door before you're done.
Okay. But where is Bellamy's corpse? I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be in the morgue. There's a computer here with 2 emails. I'm an idiot. I'm indisposed, Damien. Kelstrup wants to discuss some urgent matter. The science operator lets itself in the morgue by the half hour on the dot every day. Shadow it and slip in. Ah, so they locked the door and I couldn't get in. Mod malfunctions. Remember how funny I found Alvin Broyle's movies up until I had the second Combinatrix neuromod installed? Now, they can't even elicit a chuckle. I'm not imagining this, am I? I did enjoy them, right? Harley isn't happy about it. Ever since, she has scrutinized my every move. How much hot sauce do I use? Where I put my shoes before bed? Shit, even my handwriting. You would say you're still the same person you were before your mods went in, wouldn't you? So I guess they had some concerns about losing what made them, you know, themselves via installing too many neuromods, which I guess is a valid fear, because if you suddenly obtained a whole lot of someone else's neural structures, then I guess, technically speaking, at a certain point, from a simple percentage standpoint, you would no longer be like the majority of your brain's structure would be someone else. Okay, so I'm supposed to follow a science operator as it gets inside, but the problem is I don't even know if there is a science operator around. Like, there is an engineering operator, that's for sure, but there is still this. Was I up there? I guess I must have. Yeah, right. Because this just goes to the. Okay. I was up here. I don't really want to perform the test yet, because it seems to move on the main plot, as it were. Speed scan. Decreases the amount of time needed to complete a scan. Okay, let's install it for now. It's not like I have anything else. How are my neuromods looking? I have 5. What do I want? I guess I would want hacking 3. So I will wait for yet one more until upgrading. Maybe I need to fabricate a science operator for it to clean the morgue afterwards? Because there's clearly a discrepancy between this engineering operator and the fact that the email message specifically mentions a science operator. Okay, well, maybe I will come back later. I guess for now. But there's no fabrication machine though. Unless I'm missing something. Oh. I guess I'm going to explore the other side, because it seems this is the way forward to the gravity utility tunnel system, which is the gut system. So let me see where the other route would have taken me. Yeah, there is a science operator here, for example.
Scanning. Neuroimaging shows your psychoactive potential is at or near peak level.
But it does not seem to follow any of my instructions to, like, go and clear the morgue or something. Okay, there's at least one more. And maybe two. I'm not entirely sure. Keep clear. Armory, okay. But this is only like a window where they would hand you the weapons. It's not the entrance. Material extraction.
Hey! Hey, over here! What, you need guns? Ammo? I saw one of them science types going to that armory. Saw him punching the code. You get me out of here, I'll let you have it.
Well,
my name's Aaron Ingram.
First, I should probably read more about the situation here, because it might actually be, like, it hasn't been conclusively stated whether, like, a greater mimic could mimic a human, for example. So I should probably, you know, think that over. But to be honest, even if he is infected, he probably is just going to attack me in the end, and then
no reason to keep me locked up in here anymore.
And then I can just deal with him myself. So I guess it's not going to be that big of a deal. Material storage, subject holding. Okay, there's a lot happening behind the door. So those two tunnels converge, and they are both locked because of the experiments. So I guess let's read the logs here. Exotic material extraction manual. Excerpts from a manual detailing procedures in the extraction lab. Using the workstation, complete the following steps in a listed order while a volunteer test subject is present in the extraction chamber. Extract mimic from a container. Release mimic into the material extraction chamber. When the multiplication process is complete, extract exotic material, process material and collect it from the dispenser tray. Immediately transport the remains to a morgue. So basically, I'm given an option to kill him and then harvest the remains of the mimics that spawn from his body, which is pretty barbaric.
Y'all really shit and fell backwards in it, huh?
Volunteer test subject criminal history. It's approved for viewing. Press request record to view at your discretion.
We're two dead crickets, but nobody deserves this.
Okay, let's see what he's done. Volunteer information. Gender male, race white, institution Camp 17 Siberia. Offense information. Human trafficking, kidnapping, solicitation of a minor, distribution of controlled substances, fraudulent impersonation. Okay, so if it is true, if he's really a human trafficker and you know, involved in solicitation of a minor, then he's pretty much human scum. But even then, like, I feel bad about executing him myself in such an inhuman way. But also, I have to take into consideration that this might not be true. Like, I don't have any actual proof that any of those crimes are actually real. For all I know, you know, TranStar might be making this up to make the scientists.
Hey, what are you reading? My rap sheet, huh? Look, I'm telling you, on my mama's grave, that is a stack of lies meant to make pushing that button easier on you. Okay, fine, listen. I want to be honest, some of it probably is true. I done some wrong in my days, but this ain't right, now. Come on, y'all got to let me out of here.
Yeah, to be honest, he played his cards a little wrong, because I was ready to believe him if he just denied it all the way through.
Those kids. I was just getting them out of a bad spot, that's all. Now, the real criminals, they didn't like how I was chipping away at their pile of rubles. They got their claws sunk deep in the government. Got me shipped off to the gulag. That's how I ended up here, see?
Yeah, as I said, the worst thing is...
fellas were Russian. I speak a little, but as you can tell, I ain't from there. As you might have guessed, all you gotta do is open the door.
It could all be made up, but he's not really helping his case by admitting to some of it, because it all muddles the ground a little bit for me. And I'm really not sure what to do here, because if he really is a human trafficker, then obviously...
Training for it anyways, until I got locked up. Behold, the wicked man conceives evil, is pregnant with mischief, and gives birth to lies. Does that sound like anybody you know?
Because obviously, I think he should remain locked up forever, but... Well, I guess I don't have to kill him, I just don't have to release him either, but then I guess keeping him in is tantamount to killing him in the long run, because nobody is going to feed him anymore, for example, because everyone is dead, and to be honest, at some point he's probably going to die anyway, just from being abandoned inside, so I'm not sure what to do, really. Extract Mimic. Yeah, I could kill him, and then extract all of the material, but do I want to release him? I'm not sure. Well, to be honest, even if he is like a super hardcore degenerate criminal, I don't think he deserves to be to have his life force sucked out by aliens from outer space, and then his remains chopped up into raw materials for crafting, because that's a little barbaric, if you ask me. So, But then, do I want to, you know, have my conscience saddled with the consequences of letting him out? I'm not sure either. Well, for now, I guess let's just go in here. Material storage and subject holding. Okay, this is locked. Is there any alternate way of getting in? Yeah, I really don't know what to do with him, because I would like to do something to maybe try and get into the morgue, because it's hacking level 3, and I don't have that much for now. Well, he did mention he was taking children from somewhere, right? Well, to be honest, for now, you know, you just rot in here. I might be back eventually. What about the morgue, though?
Coming through.
I'm pretty sure there's might be something wrong with the operator's schedule, because shouldn't it go there? Like, as I said a number of times, it's an engineering operator and not a science operator, but still. I don't think there is a way to fabricate a science operator in here. Yeah, no utilities. Okay, I don't really know what to do. Maybe it will be open later? Not sure. Oh, not through here. Like, I should probably watch its entire routine up until it goes back up, but it's weirdly kind of almost stuck. It doesn't even go all the way to here, and obviously it's probably going to take a while. I think I'm going to speed it up in post. Yeah, there it goes down, and then it just weirdly goes through here to somewhere around here and no further, which is pretty weird.
Coming through.
Oh, he just goes back up. So there has to be something wrong, right? I don't really understand. How am I supposed to get past this door? I guess I'll think about it, but for now, this episode was long enough, so I'm going to end it here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!